Is that better? I think it should be. Thank goodness it's working again. Flippin' heck. Painful. Okay, we can actually continue now. My internet decided to die and I reset my router and we're back. This is fun. Yay. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're pretty good. Annoying, but painful. Everything. Let's get back around to it then, shall we? Let's flip an egg. To not have errors.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe. I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you?
I'm not
I've been
going to unless you keep repeating
I
stuff.
don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much? Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps. Yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means.
Literal shadow onto the wall.
I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Is he gone?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Nice symbolism too. So skip. I see. Seeming. Yeah, okay. Clock has stopped ticking too. It's a horrible noise. What's it even coming from? It's a horrible noise. This.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people. Because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time.
Yeah, we're gonna
They
go
are
here.
mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help
I
but
see where
attempt
this
to
is
tear me
going.
down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed.
There's no noise. Again. Well, there's no beating either. You have a leak. Where is it? Hold on, let's stand up to it. Yep. Alright, cool.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oop. We have a bit of a leak. This is a little bit, you know. Just a little leak. Oop. We've gotten a few just little you know, just a little minor structural damage. Just a bit. I can't even work on circles. Oh. Kinda. Let's keep going. Further. Oh. Cool. Can I actually get out? No, I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, yup. That's cool. Nice. And further. What happened? Something happened. nice. And now it's gone. What happened? Is this turning into a horror game? Ooh. Whoa. What? We're on a beach. Whoa. How fast does this go? Ooh. Seriously? I kind of wanted to push the button again. To see what would happen next. That's annoying.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. Ooh, new content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Ooh, exciting. There's more.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Hey yo. Hey yo. Stanley Parable 2.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel.
Yes.
An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are
This
so many
isn't gonna be a thing,
possibilities.
is it?
It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yes, very much so. Let's have a sequel. Let's have a sequel.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Yes.
Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there.
Yes.
It's future-oriented.
Oof.
It screams
Oof.
progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Yes, very much so. We have images and we have office flooring and nice offices. Windows. Ooh, glass doors. Yes, very nice. Very, very nice. Ooh. We have a pigeon, crow, bird thing. And we have a lot of MacBook looking flipping computers. Stanley Parable 2 logo ideas. I wonder what their device of choice is. Mac. Not rubbing that in any further. More and better Stanley Parable win-win. Color red, yes. Color red. Very, very, very nice. Oop.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
2. The prequel. Ew, but it's also the sequel. The prequel and the sequel. Every pause button is Roman numeral 2. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. Poem, more bird, laptops, MacBooks. Showroom, new features. Ooh. There's a bus for new content. Push the buttons. How do I see new content? How do I see it? Can I see it? Can I see it? Hello? Did I break something? Hello? What is that? Oh wait, oh, there we go. Here we go. Hey, found the way. Oh, we have a red stool. Nice red stool. Whoa, that's actually really thick. That's actually incredible. Holy crap. Look at this.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Whoa. Holy moly. Okay, this is actually insane. It says name as playing the game. What should I do first? Enjoy the new features. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Yes, I
so
want to be
with
a
that
people.
in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
We're just a mapping button. Okay, yeah. This is actually going to say my name? That'd actually be kind of creepy if it does, but
Jim.
that is not
Sorry,
my name.
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Of course.
Here, let's have you role play as Jim
Okay.
to really simulate the full
Jim.
experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Name Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I think so.
If so,
I think I'm
then
Jim.
please step forward and press the button.
Can I run? I'm pushing a button. It's bad.
Jim.
Wow.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Wow.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal... Whoa there, cowboy! Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the gym button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
I want to be Jim. No. No. Oh no, I've lost my self-identity. Oh no, I can no longer be Jim. Ah. Oh my gosh, this is gold. Right,
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Last. The pile looks, Oh, we have the jump circle. We need to go to the jump circle. Oh my gosh, there's actually a lot. A free achievement too. Ooh. Ooh. Infinite hole. Maybe we'll do that last, because I don't want to go into a hole. Free achievement. Let's get the free achievement. Maybe. Oh, I don't know what. I just want to come back here. So, okay, we'll do the jump circle first because we know that's not going to kill me.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Yes.
Oh wait.
Just
you already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Yeah. About that.
Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
But I want to jump. Oh, jumping was fun. Dang. What's over here? The infinite. Oh, well, yeah, that's the infinite hole. I don't want to go into the infinite hole until like afterwards. Collectibles. Sure, why not? Can you find them? Alright, I need to find the collectibles. Ooh.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game.
Ooh.
In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
But we need to have all. We need to have numbers. But here it is. Yay! I found it. Yay! Oh, it's locked me in. Okay. Guess. Oh, that was it. Never mind. It locked me out.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
There needs to be a reward. Okay, so we don't want to go to the exit. I'm guessing it is the pile. Oh no, the Apollo was different. Okay, so the Apollo will get me out. Okay, that's good. 5 is a map. Z is merch. Let's see merch. Oh, it has a... Is that a real QR code? Is that a real QR code? I kind of want to find out. Is that a real QR code? I kind of just, you know, I just need to see, alright? Hold up. It's a QR code. That's an actual website to the Stanley Parable 2. Oh, goodness. I'll have a look at that later. I don't think it's actually like an actual thing though. I'm probably gonna go be at the end and say, hey, there's no Stanley Parable 2, then that's just gonna be like, okay. No screenshots. Reassurance bucket. What is a reinsurance bucket?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Okay.
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Okay.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes,
very much so.
The bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Alright, reassurance bucket time.
Can you feel it?
Oh.
The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
Very much so.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Awesome. Can I put the bucket down? Or do I just keep the bucket? I keep the bucket. Okay, sure.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Right, names of players playing the game, office decorations, you're achieving the game. No screenshots. Red is the new orange. A new updated. The baby's all grown up. What's that noise? What's that noise? Let's get the free and easy achievement, shall we? Sure, let's get the achievement.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yes.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Cool.
Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Great. Ready? Hey.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Oh, that's sad. Don't know what this is supposed to be. Okay, it's an achievement that doesn't work.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Infinite hole, this guy.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Both of them suck. Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Of course you're gonna do that.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our
I
mistakes.
didn't choose badly, you override my choice. But that's the game. Ooh, fun. Do I do infinite hole, epilogue? What else is there? Settings world champion. Infinite hole. And that's K. I'm trying to find out what the heck, how you navigate this. Insurance bucket. Observations we've seen. Infinite hole we haven't seen yet. Haven't gone to the epilogue yet, but I want to kind of save that until later. Can I get up there? I don't know how you get up there. Can't do the jump circle, but we've done it. Let's go this way. Let's go to the infinite hole and hope that it doesn't, like, isn't actually infinite. Infinity.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's
Wow.
right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
It's a very big hole. It's just I want to see the epilogue too. So, do I go there? I'll do that afterwards. I'll do it after the epilogue. I just want to see everything, and I don't want to make sure. I don't want to like mess anything up, because that would be sad, having to do this all again. So we've gone there, done that. Apparently Hash is the settings world champion, but I don't actually know how you exit. I don't want to go to the exit. Do not want to exit. Is exit there, so theoretically it should be on the other side of this wall to the... But that's a jump hole. What's a jump? I'm so confused. Seems world champion. It's like on the other side. There's like really nothing. Oh, was this it? Was this? Alright, so this was settings world champion. Okay, sure, I guess. I've done that then. And that's practically everything except the epilogue and the infinite hole. Okay, let's do epilogue then.
An
Hello.
epilogue would would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
I've been pronouncing it wrong the
Yes,
whole
we'll
time.
go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Really? Of course you would do that. Achievement, infinite hole. Oh, things will turn a bit up here. Yep. Let's go up the stairs. Really? Do I have to do something? No? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Infinite hole it is? Because I don't know. I do not know how you do the Settings World Champion one. Infinite hole. See what that does. Just literally infinite falling, or it just doesn't work. Whee!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to
There's a
pop
teleport
back up
button.
to the top, and we can continue onward.
Wait, I want to hear it go all the way down.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Why?
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Is it not infinite?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole.
Yay.
You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I didn't say
Why
anything.
don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Sure.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Alright.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
But I don't think there is any more ideas. Mostly infinite hole. I like how the things update. That's very nice. Very clever. Responsive to game design. I wish I could go past this though. I really wish. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything. Okay, guess this is it. Yeah, because I don't know what Settings World Champion is, let's go to the exit then.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yep.
Ready to move on now?
Yep. Interesting. Ooh. Hello.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Sure, okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
This is going to be Stanley Parable Ultra
Would it
Deluxe.
possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Whoa. Hold up. That's actually insane. Holy crap. Holy crap. Ooh, I like the red. I really do like the red. It's like really nice. It's not gonna do anything, is it?
This is the story
There's a skip
of a
button.
man named Stanley.
There's a skip button.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
This is like literally a restart.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
It has
Something
two.
that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Now, the real question is, how deep is this going to go?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Or is
No
this just
matter
a
how
text
hard
change?
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, there's the bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yay! Oh, there's a new thing there. Wonder why that's there. Interesting.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch,
Aw.
but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
Yeah, the bucket is magical. Very magical bucket.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
No.
Click a door 5 times. Is
No,
that
I was
all
just- I
that
was
you
just-
think
I
an
was just
achievement is
saying-
worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5
Should I do this
clicks.
again?
Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
Should I do this again?
I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Does it give you another achievement? No, I'm not. Okay, new content is gone.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
How deep is this gonna go? Does it just add the texture in the bucket, or does it add other things?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
The bucket is so flippin'.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Ooh.
The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
The broom closet
You can
wants the
feel
bucket.
that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Bad broom closet. My bucket. My bucket. Bad. You don't deserve
Okay,
it.
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet,
take
with
it.
all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Alright, I think that's it.
All right, I've got a second sticker. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
that? I'm just not gonna respond. That was like the second time I've gotten scared for this. Over useless. Same thing. Yo!
You found one of them. One of the
Yay.
miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these.
Yes.
Only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Done. To be rich is a crime. To commit crimes isn't a rich. What a life it would be to have just pick one. Interesting. So there was a reason to the bathroom after all. What about to here? Oh, this is locked now. room is still there. Interesting. And it's still stored the awaiting input.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
I think it did.
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Dang it. This is so bad because I don't know where my mouse is. No!
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
No!
2845.
Oh, close. This is actually really difficult with the bucket.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
So what's new? Grab the bucket. The balloons.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
Yay.
Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
What happens if I take the bucket to...
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
I want to see. I want to see if this carries across.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Oh no. We set the bucket right here.
was a shame, the death of such a magnificent
no.
bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a
Oh,
glorious
no.
bucket to behold.
The bucket, no! Is staying in precipitous knowledge. Frequently empty within a cavernous void. Okay, that's back. It's back to the original thing. I see.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to
Everything's
take a
changed to the
bucket
bucket.
like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, a bucket with two handles. A recklessly experimental bucket. Shame. This Inferno bucket. Cave drawing of bucket. What is this become? Why? Literally why?
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket.
But there is something we can do.
Oh.
Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a
Right,
new
sure.
vision.
Interesting. Meeting today in the meeting room.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Meeting today in the meeting room.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
What's that gone? Interesting. I need to go in the meeting room.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. Just one plan to allow ease of access past fence. Drop bridge to allow contact. Chris's remains? Who's Chris and why are we collecting his remains from the warehouse floor? Sequel exhibit. Large room, lots of boxes. Some of the stairs, something to do with stairs, somewhere between both red and blue, nearby a fireplace. Okay. So these are the things. So large room, lots of boxes. Stairs, something to do with stairs, somewhere between both red and blue nearby the fireplace. Some kind of game. There must be a point to this. There will be a reward for finding them all. More like the cake is a lie kind of thing. Trust the completionist instinct. Maybe we are the collectibles. All resources. Recordings loud and trying strange noises coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna take a photo of that because I want to find them, because there might be something. Maybe, possibly. Maybe. You never know.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers.
Sure.
If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Oh. No stickers? Sad. I need to do
Coming to a
stairs.
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, both red and blue.
Another miniature Stanley figurine.
Nice.
This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-Stan? Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another
Stanlerines?
Stanlerine under your belt. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket. Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Sad.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
This has changed?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing
What
all
is
of his
this?
actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck
Interesting.
yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
What? What is this? Backflipped all the way to work. Has this changed? Or is it still bucket heaven? Sequel is now pause. Okay. Now you got the buttons. Alright.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Oh, the bucket. Where's the bucket?
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Now I need to try one which doesn't have the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yes.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Wait, is that new? Actually, there. No. It might be. I don't remember it there. Maybe it's the
Truly,
revision.
being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Is that it?
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
I kind of want to change the stream title to The Adventures of Bucket and Stanley.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
How much more dialogue is there? No more, I don't think.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge,
Oh,
and
you
they took
can't
the
stand
first
me anymore.
open door on their left to get back to business.
Alright.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
No.
Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
Fireplace.
The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Should we go on the Adventure Line? Let's go. Adventure Line.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yes.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about.
Mike, stop it.
Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Yes.
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No, don't give her the bucket. Don't. I don't want to get rid of the bucket. I don't want to. It's gonna make me get rid of the bucket, isn't it?
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
A new character.
This is the Bucket Destroyer.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True,
No.
it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
Destroys
Surely you
buckets.
don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No. I don't want to destroy it.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Okay. Someone tell me what that was. That's it? Really? Right, now I need to know what
All of his
happens
co-workers were gone.
when you give it the
What
bucket.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It was near the collectible was supposed to be near the fireplace.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Yes, we'll have to destroy the bucket though. I want to see what that does.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Bye, bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded...
Okay, we could just... Okay, you can't actually destroy the bucket. I thought you might have been able to, but no.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing?
So what happens if you don't bring the bucket? Into that area.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
Maybe. Who knows?
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
So without the bucket, that doesn't activate new
Now,
content.
let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding?
2, 3, 4 is
It's all
glitched.
rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
And now the balloons are gone.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Fancy.
Stanley
how
decided
you
to go to the
doing?
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Morning? Well, evening for me, but morning to you? Hello. How you doing? Thanks for dropping by. Just waking up. Ah, nice.
When Stanley... Wait.
We are
what?
playing Stanley Parable.
No, I restarted.
New
I swear, I definitely restarted the
Ultra
game over,
Deluxe
completely fresh.
slash
Everything should be... Or
Sequel.
did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the
Interesting,
monitors?
but I
Did you
think
move
this
the
is just-
story somewhere or...
Hold
Hold
on.
on.
Wait.
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find
It's all good.
the
It's all
story.
good. Don't stress. It's not a problem. It's cool. Don't stress yourself out over it. Like, you're allowed to have sleep. Sleep's important, you know. Sleep is very important. Sleep is a lot more important than watching me. Absolutely. Make that first priority. You'd have been. No, I have not. No, I have not. No. That's a lie.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise
That's a
you
lie.
there
I can tell you
definitely
that.
was a story here
There's
before.
microphone going through.
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll
There
ever
is.
progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
Fancy.
Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Fancy. Don't do that. That's mean.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
It's
mean?
low.
Stanley decided to go.
Okay. Is that better? Just oof. Too much. Oop. Tell me look. Do you want me to turn it back down? Back down? Yes? No? And here it's mid? Good? A little higher? Alright, how about now? Any better or a bit higher? Just a little. Alright. What about that? That better? Better? Good? Decent? Bit higher? Cool.
To the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Woohoo! Yay! We be streaming. I know what I'm doing. Sure.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be
Stanley
remembering
Parable.
this wrong. It's
Um,
possible the story is back where we
I just tried
came from.
something.
Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
The only problem about this game is that it talks over you constantly, so you have to like figure out where to actually talk. It's very very hard to stream that way. But basically, we a decent bit through this game, and then I did not take an item. I think I'm just gonna reset because I know this ending already, and I want to see more endings. I'm just gonna do it and hope that the stuff comes back to where it was. Yeah, okay. This is what it normally is. This
All
is
of his
the sequel
coworkers were
content.
gone.
The
What
sequel.
did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is Stanley Parable
Stanley
Ultra
picked up the
Deluxe.
bucket and
We have
smiled.
Bucket.
He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
There's this whole running joke about the bucket. Literally. It's hilarious. But it's just also really
Stanley
weird.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind.
I'm just trying out a whole bunch of endings, basically.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
So now I know that you need the
No.
bucket.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
Alright, I'll
It
try
should
this
have alarmed
first.
him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
So yes, I don't know if you've heard or done
In here.
Said the bucket.
Flipping it.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
have you seen Stanley Parable before? It's a bit of an old game, but it just got recently an update.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life.
Alright, let's see if the bucket carries across.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Oh, it does.
Once
It
upon
does.
a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Okay. Interesting. This is a new place. Is this his actual apartment? There's a bucket. Oh no, there's a bucket. I'm worn out from yesterday. Yeah, that fair enough. How long were you streaming for in the end? I didn't see. I was there for a decent bit, and then I had a few things I had to do, so I left suddenly. Hello, bucket. Oh, take me to work with you. All right. About
The
6
Stanley Parable
hours.
Reassurance bucket was
Jeez.
merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders.
That's a fair bit.
Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Now we're being meta about the bucket. But 6 hours is a fair amount of time. Goodness, I wonder where you're probably exhausted. You need sleep. Flippin' heck. Hello, bucket.
Lately, I've been
So this is
concerned
our
about
home,
him.
Stanley's
Wouldn't
home.
you be concerned as
Interesting.
well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I
Inanimate.
want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket.
Just a
it
bucket.
can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
It Still admin, but I'll go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders
We're
from the
still
bucket. You know, once
a
upon
ghost.
a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket, this stupid hunk of metal.
Interesting. Where is the bucket? Oh, there. To ignore anyone in your life except for me. Okay.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real? Go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving
What
an
is
amount
this,
of water
though?
from one room to another.
White TV screen. Over and over.
Oh my god, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I
Shadows?
feel some need
Yeah,
to point
okay.
out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket.
Oh, no.
No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand.
What is happening?
Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing.
What?
Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
This is becoming weird.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Interesting. Go back to work. This is new. That's a very long corridor.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Oh.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
We've tried all left, so let's go
This was
right.
not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
So we tried.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting
There
room.
is-
Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
There is this way.
There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Except I didn't.
No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
What is
I
this?
suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is
What
dependent
is happening?
on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Do you know what's happening? That bucket is the main character? Yes. Yes, it is. This bucket
Now
has
then,
caused so much
I'm going
confusion.
to run you through some test scenarios and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
This
Simple enough, right? This should tell us
This is
everything we'll
weird.
ever need to know
The
about
back
what
of this
is
main character.
or is not a bucket.
this is
Okay,
so funny, but so weird.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Is this a bucket? Ooh. This is a bucket? I'm not sure. I have inclination. This is a tough choice. Is this a bucket? I don't know. I was saying a Twitch partner came into your stream? Yo, flippin' heck. That's actually insane.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual
Oh my
bucket.
gosh. That's actually insane. Even followed me and asked me a few info and help?
Item 2.
Oh wow.
Is this a bucket?
Oh wow. That's actually insane. Sheesh. Holy crap. That's amazing. Now, now what? Is this a bucket? Is this a... Yeah, that's pretty insane. Flippin' heck. Having like a partner coming into stream, that's like scary almost. Flippin' heck. This is a bucket. It's gonna... I think it's just going to say my answer is wrong for anything I choose. So I'm gonna say yes again.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
So a 3D bucket is not a bucket? Wait, what defines a bucket then? Bucket is a container that holds liquid.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
I'm so confused. Okay, sure. That's actually insane though. Say no. Oh yeah.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Cool. It's a bucket. Is it? Oh, there's more.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
I'm pretty sure this is a bucket, yeah? I mean, it's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big bucket, you know? This is like, it's a container for a bucket, you know? It's like, it contains, you know, definitely bucket, definitely bucket. No.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket.
Yes,
To be
tractor.
honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you.
I kinda wanna
Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, this one.
I kind of want to guess yes. That's the point of this game. Like, you so want to do.
Is this a bucket?
What?
Correct. This is a bucket.
What? But that's not a bucket. That's a tractor. Now I'm confused.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
What is happening? What is actually happening? Apparently the tractor is a bucket. Okay.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
But both. How can a bucket not be a bucket, but be a bucket?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Is that a Q? I think that's a Q.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing?
Yes.
Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Nothing is a bucket? Or... So nothing is a Nothing is a bucket? Holy crap! Miles away stream. Yo! Thanks for the raid! Flippin' heck! How you doing? Thank you for the raid. Holy moly! Oni! Flippin' heck! Thanks for the follow! Howdy! How you doing? Flippin' heck! Yo! How you doing? How's life? Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it.
You know what?
Hi.
I'm too confused to even sort it out.
Australia,
I've
I'm
lost all
in
sense of
Victoria.
perspective. What is a
Melbourne
bucket? What isn't a
specifically.
bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence.
We're playing Stanley Parable
Yet now
Ultra
I'm so
Deluxe.
Do any of
There's
us
also a
know
sequel,
what a bucket
apparently.
is? Am I a bucket?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
From
I'm
WA.
losing myself,
Nice,
and
nice.
myself
That's
was
cool.
all I ever had to begin
That's
with. I'm afraid
nice.
the bucket is threatening to
But hey,
tear
thank
our
you so much for the
relationship
raid.
apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Oh no, don't raise all the buckets. No, no, no. I want to keep the bucket. Did he raise all the buckets? Oh no.
What happened?
I'm trying to
Was
rate
everything gone?
Aussie streamers. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my god, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all.
Apparently
And you,
we're...
Stanley, you're
Nope.
still not. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Do work, mate. I
Yes,
will say
actually feel much
I
more
am
at ease.
studying.
It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't
I'm
seem
studying
fair
Bachelor of
that we
IT
haven't got a game.
uni.
So,
Yeah.
tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets.
I'll talk a
okay?
bit more after this.
And
Hold on.
we'll know that it's all a bucket.
a sec.
But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do?
It's
to
so
the
hard to
person.
speak over
All
this.
right, here we go.
Because I kind of want to pay attention to this, but also like, you know. Thank you. Yeah, I love technology and stuff, so yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm in first year, so it's kind of getting into the swing of things still. But yeah, it's been fun so far. And yeah, been pretty chill too. It's a lot semi-easier than high school, to a degree, except like a little bit more challenging. No, not Monash, RMIT. So I didn't have enough A time to get into Monash, unfortunately. That's like a flippin' 85, 86 or something. I don't know. It was pretty big, and yeah, I didn't get that, unfortunately. Yeah, Monash is really hard to get into. Insanely hard. It's like actually really difficult. But you know, I don't mind. Like, it's been well so far, and like I don't have any complaints about it or anything. I did choose IT, but I dropped out. Doctor and lawyer levels. Okay, dropped out. That fair enough, depending on what you prefer and everything. Yeah, it practically is doctor and lawyer levels, but like even in Monash, they're like the doctor and lawyer levels are like literally 90s. Business management. Oh, cool. A lot easier. It would be, definitely. That'd be like, yeah, but it's up to you really. Hope that goes well for you, and you know, that all works out. Yeah. Thanks for the follow, also, Ernie. Appreciate it. Crappy. I know. I'm not used to flipping miles away. Thank you for the follow. Flippin' egg. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Goodness. I'm not used to things. It's just like I'm here and small, and now people are dropping in. Flippin' egg. Holy moly. Hi. Hello, thank you. Appreciate it. very much so. I don't know what to do. I feel awkward, but okay. I'm gonna try and continue, and I have no idea what I'm doing, but yay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What is this game about? That is an interesting question. How do you explain what this game is about? This game is basically a kind of adventure game, but it's like it's focused on narrative tropes and perspective and stuff like that. I find it really interesting. I wish I had more viewers so you can get your followers up to 20. you don't need to do that. Flip an X. Seriously. But thank you. Viewers are hard to get. Like, you need to be interactive and stuff. I have not really idea what I'm doing when it comes to that, but you know, I just be I'm here anyways, so why not? But thank you. So yeah, this is a game about narrative tropes.
Stanley stood for a long time in one spot. It's part of the game.
Very responsive
He
game
wants to see
design.
how long he
Very
can go
responsive.
without dying. So far, he's doing excellent. And if he just stays...
Okay, I'm gonna pause it. I usually have more people, but they have played games together. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's yeah, depends on what do you stream?
Yes, I'm sure he'll keep up that good momentum. Let's
Hold
observe.
on, I give you a shout out because there's nobody here, but I'll give you a shout out anyways. I'll give you a shout out anyways because why not? Boom. Playing music. That's cool. What kind of music?
The genius at work.
And what software do you use?
Where are we going today? The bucket asked.
Just out of
Stanley
curiosity.
just smiled.
If you
Anywhere they went
don't want to
together
disclose.
would be perfectly fine with him.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door
left,
again. This was
right,
the correct way
not
to the
left.
meeting room.
Is it going
Stanley
to the
had
left?
felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
No.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I do editing on stream, YouTube reviews. I
said
do
the bucket.
radio stream now and then, just chatting. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Interesting.
Don't go
Interesting.
to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I do mixes. I don't play games. Yeah, it's up to you what you do. Like,
Good.
Said the bucket.
that's
Now
perfectly
ride the
cool.
lift all the way to
Twitch
the
is
top.
just for
There's
games.
something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking
No.
to him.
It's
It should
fun to
have
do other
alarmed him,
things.
Of course, because buckets can't.
I stream games
But Stanley chose not
because
to think about this obvious fact.
why not?
He was firmly convinced that the bucket
love
had
games.
spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
This game is one of my favorite games. So this came out a little while ago, 2013, 2014. I cannot remember. But it came out a little while ago, and then got an Ultra Deluxe update, basically, which like a whole bunch of new endings and stuff. Bucket, and yeah, this was a huge influence to practically a lot of things. Honestly, it's probably one of the most influential games I've ever played. Because no problem, it's all good. No problem. You raided me, so I was like, damn, like I don't want to do nothing. So yeah, this game was really influential to me because I'm basically an aspiring author, and this game was like here's like every narrative trope. I'm going to basically flip it on its head. I really enjoyed that, and basically was like, well, I want to create something like that. So, yeah. In the current process of trying to do that, not in a video game, because I do not have that skill set right now. But yeah, in another form, book form, I want to release something like that. Something that does a bit weird, but also interesting. Like, this game is very, very interesting. I love this game to pieces. I've played a fair, decent amount when it first came out, and I loved it. And yeah, just playing this because it just came out last week. Yeah, it came out last week. And yeah,
In here, said the bucket.
this will be
Go
Melbourne
into
good.
this dark room over here.
Stanley once
It's not
again
bad.
obeyed blindly.
Living in Melbourne's fine, you know. There's nothing wrong with it. It's much to do with friends. Not really. Everything you kind of do is either, well, it depends. Like, I don't see there a lot because like everything costs money, and I don't have a lot of said money. So yeah, everything is just kind of just like be a lot more than Perth, that's for sure. There's nothing there. Flipping egg, that sucks. I work at Macca's, but that's casually. I'm trying to get another job. But it's just working that around uni and stuff is a bit of a pain. Frustrating, and you know, it's very difficult to find out like exactly where a spot fits. So yeah, Macca's right now, something else possibly in the future. But yeah, there is stuff to do in Melbourne. Like, there's a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, Mac is super ideal. It's actually incredibly good, incredibly fantastic. It's only school holidays that currently affect me really badly because of my age, and everybody's like they get all like the 15 whatever year olds in. And yeah, it's a bit of a pain when it comes to that, but otherwise it's been really good. And you worked at KFC, only that's nice. You get your IT job once you leave uni. That's the plan. That's definitely the plan. Hopefully, I'm going well so far. So yeah, should be all right. Worked at Domino's. Oh, nice. That's a nice. That would be interesting. I've applied to Domino's before, but they never talked to me. That would be interesting. I've never seen like their culture or anything that much before. I don't really go out to place like the fast food that often. Expense and you know other things, just personal reasons as well. But yeah, I don't see much of pretty much anything, but you know, pizza's good. I love pizza. I wouldn't complain over pizza. Worst bit of the owner was worse than the customers. Interestingly, okay. That doesn't sound great. That doesn't sound great at all. Flippin' heck. Damn. That would be frustrating. Sorry about the lack of gameplay. I'm just like, I'm currently just like, I don't know how I'm doing this. Because this game constantly speaks, and I don't want to be interrupting, and I currently kind of want to listen to it also and be in the loop of stuff, so it's kind of just like, I don't know what to do. I'm feeling very awkward right now. I'm very sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. My goodness. You're not sure what to do. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, you made me lose my track, but it's cool. It's fine. It's fine. Very much appreciate it. Still, like, super flipping egg. I gotta unplug it.
Now pick up the... Oh, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the
I
bucket
just want
isn't
to try
talking
everything.
to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke?
Besides the
Should
uni
I have
work,
paused for longer or spoken quicker?
Macca's work,
Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were
stream,
better, but there isn't exactly an
game.
instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
lots of other things, really. Ooh. Ooh.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing?
I don't
How
know.
does
What
it
is
work?
comedic timing?
How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
Give me a second.
And
I'll
more
answer that
importantly,
after this. I
can
want
it
to see
be
what this
taught in
is.
its entirety within 90 seconds?
Hopefully, 90 seconds.
Thankfully,
Just
the
hang on for
answer
90
to
seconds.
all of these questions is yes.
Yes.
Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them
Socially
in a
distanced.
room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Good
To begin
comedic
the
timing.
joke, start by stating and spelling your name.
Name.
Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient
What
of
is
the joke
this?
will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm
Let's practice
Dunny
screaming,
with the funny.
"I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I am Dunny with the funny. What is this?
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone
What is
of
this?
good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times.
Yes, very effective.
Just to ensure the survey taker is actually
Very
paying
effective.
attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence.
What?
And to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it?
What on earth was that? That was hilarious, but also really weird. Okay, alright, Ernie. Now I can speak. What are my main games? 15-degree angle. There we go. I am comedic timing. I do not understand. What? I don't. I honestly don't. Okay, Ernie. Main games. Zelda. I am a huge fan of Zelda. I'm about 80 centimeters. Hold on, I need to be back. Oh. Is this far enough? This is as far as my headphones go. That should be enough. We have achieved comedic timing. Oh yep, 30.5. Why did the cat cross the road? I don't know. Comedic timing. Because they wanted to. And now I give you a survey, 10 pages long, with the same question written over and over to make sure that your answers are not random. I don't understand this game. Okay, my main game's Zelda, but I don't really play it on stream because I don't. I don't have a reason for it. It's just, well, like my most favorite game is Breath of the Wild, but I finished that a little while ago. 100%, then glitched, then sped run and everything, and I basically was like, okay, I've done enough of the game now. Hollow Knight, I played Hollow Knight, nearly 112%ed it, and now I'm randomizing it on stream whenever I want to, basically. I did one the other day. Pokemon, I do Pokemon streams. Pokemon is quite fun. I like to do randomizers. Currently I'm doing a Black 2 randomizer Nuzlocke, which we practically failed. Was that yesterday? Yes, it was yesterday. We practically failed yesterday, so we're gonna be trying again next Monday. I stream Pokemon on Mondays, variety Tuesdays. Tuesdays can be anything pretty much. And sometimes I will just stream Twitch games on a Tuesday. Oh, hello, Trex to Mars. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. How you doing? Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. That's me. How you doing? How's life? I guess I can continue.
Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So, with that in mind,
Last way stream.
I believe
Yeah.
the only
Fair
way
enough.
forward
Cool,
is
cool.
for us to return to the two doors.
Thank
and
you for
walk
follow.
through all
Very
of
much
this again,
appreciated.
so I can try
Thank
telling
goodness, my
story
voice cracked
with
then.
more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Wait, is okay, yeah, okay. My stream is a little bit behind. I got 2 accounts. You got 2 accounts. Okay, that's fine. You can have 2 accounts. It's cool. Can I go in this door? Cool. Thank you for the follow. It's alright. I guess
I can feel it. This time,
I
I'm really
guess
going to
that's
nail
fine.
the delivery.
You can-
You'll be
you can
in stitches.
follow
What
it
a
too, I guess.
talking bucket, you'll say. How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy.
fair, right,
That's
okay.
what you'll call
I guess
me.
that makes sense.
Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be
Also, there's a
right
game
now.
around this now.
Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No
This
need to
was when I go to the
overthink things.
festival. It's good to have old accounts. I mean, like, I don't, but, you know. I guess if you want to. It's totally cool. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going back. Flippin' heck. I'm so confused. I won't be streaming for a huge amount longer. I'll probably be going for another
Here we go.
nearly half
You
an
ready?
hour.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
We'll finish at 2:30.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on?
So
There
the
were
time is
supposed to be several rooms
10
leading
past
up to
2.
this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point.
So,
a
20
dramatic
minutes.
display of remarkable comedic wit, which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling world. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video.
No, not the instructional video.
That will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the
hello,
door
Steve
to the left.
Staple. How you doing? Hey, yo. How's life? Oh, that's a loop now. Doing good, thanks. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket
Just
came
playing
to a
some
set of two
Fortnite.
open doors,
Cool,
they entered
nice.
the door on the left.
I'm guessing everyone here knows each other then. Yes, how is Fortnite?
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone.
Got 3 minutes.
Don't
Oh,
even look at the
nice.
instructional video. I think this was all covered
awesome.
very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community about a joke.
The broom closet's
I'm going
locked.
to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint.
guide.
Are you proud of yourself?
What is this game about?
Down, Stanley? Are you
Let's go
proud?
again. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Alright, okay. We'll get to that in a sec. What is this game about? This game is a interactive fiction which focuses on narrative tropes and storytelling, kind of. Not really, more about narrators and kind of that stuff, but also mixes in other stuff about content and stuff, and it's interesting, very interesting, and very weird, very wacky, very strange. It's yeah, weird. Steve is my best friend. We met at high school. Oh, cool. Steve knows only from work. Okay, so everyone here is connected. Oh wow. Okay. That's nice to have a tiny community. I have like literally like nearly nobody from like my area. This sounds like a stream. Oh well, it happens sometimes. You can't catch everyone, unfortunately. What's your name? My name is Dom. I do go by inanimate here, but like honestly, like you can call me Dom if you want to. It's up to you. Like it's just like I don't know. I don't mind.
You love the bucket so much, it's like you. It's as though all of your other most prized possessions.
I am from
pale
Melbourne.
In comparison, yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No, still not. Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame. Pale.
What is this?
Stanley, this bucket is so
Yes, I've always lived in Melbourne.
Guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this.
Hello, Pillarist. How you doing?
Jukes. I need more instructional videos.
We have so many new people. Hello. Hi. How you doing?
Instructional videos. Let's see.
This reminds me of Gmod. I have not played Gmod, but I've definitely heard of it. That's a sandbox one, yeah? Flippin' egg. I've never played that. I have never played that. So I cannot tell you if it relates or not. It's weird. The guy's model was like Gmod. Yeah, it's like a sandbox. Yeah. Okay.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days?
You reckon I look like someone?
Centuries?
Dom
Did
Porter.
something crucial happen while my senses returned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now
That's
on.
funny. I'm a distant related cousin to Dom Porter from Wally High. No, I don't know. No, probably not. No, I don't think I'm related to anyone named Dom Porter. That's Gmod is half mod game, half hide and seek. Oh, hide and seek's cool. Made animations with it. Oh, sick. That's actually cool. That's cool. Basically do whatever game you do. Cool. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of
Where's the
two
bucket?
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I didn't see the bucket. Is the bucket gone? Yes, my name is Dom. Did I miss the bucket completely? I might need to go back because the bucket is new content. Hold on. Did I miss the bucket? The bucket is like all the new.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers.
Where's the bucket?
Stanley thought.
I
How
miss it.
amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we
I
all
literally
just
did.
laugh and laugh at
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket.
Don't ask.
A bucket of culture
I don't know.
and distinction.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to
what
his
haven't I
chest
done?
and entered the door on his left.
What haven't I done? Flip, I'm trying to remember everything. Crap. We've done. Is there? This is down there, which is the infinite walkway. Normal ending, which we haven't done fully of. I'm practically going off all the endings at this point. And there's still these two. Large room, lots of boxes, some both red and blue, and nearby a fireplace. Might be a lost brother. Everybody seems to be
Coming
debating that.
Stanley's, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Your office cleaner? No. This game is weird. I'm going to say that. Basically, we're a normal person, and we have a bucket. But basically, the premise of this game is that this guy, the guy we were playing, does nothing but sit and press buttons all day, every day, and that's all he does. I do want to see if the lift has any interactions with the bucket. There it is. Bucket. No, we are named Stanley. The bucket is just the bucket. No, the guy is named Stanley. The bucket is just a bucket. Flippin' yeah, that's all good. What's inside the bucket? Nothing from what I can tell. That's all good, Mazway. Thank you so much for the raid and for introducing these flippin' a lot of people. Thank you. And have a good sleep, rest. I don't know what you're gonna do, so I'll probably sleep.
Stepping into his manager's office,
But thank
Stanley
you
was
for
once
dropping
again
by and
stunned
for raid and
to
everything.
discover not an indication of any human life.
Yes, 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 yes. I will shout him out again. I will shout him out again. Yes, yes. Media history. I got to turn lights off by 12. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Can you wait, please? Thank you. There we go. Right.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken
Thank
down
you.
into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the
Thank
dark
you. Won't
clouds
be
of
going for 2
confusion
minutes
and
longer, but
chaos?
yes,
It
I
would be with
will.
him,
This like 10
always.
minutes.
The bucket would. And
Can
he
can
knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At
No.
this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender
Flippin' heck.
spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's
I
desk.
did. It's
Nor in
so
his
hard to
bliss of
control with the
simply
bucket.
being near the bucket did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845.
Like it's literally. It's so hard to control. Thank you so
Stanley
much
just
again.
sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
This is so hard. I just have to wait for it, basically.
2845.
Yeah, I get it. Come on. Oh, good, Oni. Have a good one. Like Fancy said.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in.
Thank
and
you for
the
dropping
door just
by
opened
and for the
all by
follows.
itself,
Thank you,
and
thank
Stanley
you.
got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Good night. Have a good sleep. Thank you for the support and everything. Thank you. Alright, we can do the normal ending with this.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Alright.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket
Wee.
had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Why is this bucket? I don't understand.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Oh
Had
my
the bucket
goodness.
been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Why?
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point,
Alright.
he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Oh, it's just a bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. for he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
What is this game? Bro, what is this game? Should we do? What should we do? What do you do? Oh, that was the fancy. Let's turn it off.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Then we're gonna do it again and do one.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd live together.
Think of it
with
in
one another to
visions
lean
and
on,
dreams.
to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
What is this?
Not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms.
What is this?
Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
And yeah. Okay, Dreams. I have not heard of. PS4 game? No. I don't have a PS4, and I don't really look at PS4 that much. I have an Xbox.
Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered
I'm not sure what
companionship
Dreams
that
is.
stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Gonna do one more ending and then finish off there. I'll probably do the rest of this another time.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to
Similar
the
thing, it was
boss's
funny.
office.
It is very, very funny. Very funny. Weird. Hilarious.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not
Mario
an
and Sonic and
indication
stuff
of
on
any
it?
human life.
That's
Crushed by the weight of this revelation,
Really? Wow,
Stanley may
okay.
have broken down into
Damn.
an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he
Come on.
knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
No!
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being
It's so hard to control with the bucket.
did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845.
This is so hard to control. Because we don't have like a center line thing.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay, hold on.
2845.
There we go.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
That's so hard
Was
to
it
do.
The bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
That's actually really weird. I've never heard of that. I thought I would have like heard of that. Maybe. I don't know. That's interesting. So it's like another sandbox thing, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea what it is, so I can't like. I'll have a look at it after though.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Alright, we'll do this last ending and then yeah, we'll finish off there.
The monitors jumped to life,
Was
and
not the
Stanley
last
nearly dropped
ending,
the bucket
but-
in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Beep 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 boo.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never!
Let's
He
do
squeezed the bucket
this.
tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Trust the bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the
Let's
cold
do
reality
this.
of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
What? The heck? What is this?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
What?
Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands.
Look at all the
one who
birds.
had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Really? That's it? Okay. I am gonna end it there. I am. Because yeah, it's getting late. Well, it is late. Um, I have someone to raid. Let's raid Haru. Well, let's do that. Thank you so much for joining in. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that. Ooh, oop, wait, I know what I'm doing. Thank you so much for joining in and dropping by. Very much appreciate all of your support, and yeah, hope to see you guys around sometime soon. I would look forward to seeing you guys. Yeah, sometime. Peace out, and thank you again for joining in, having some fun, weird stuff. Yeah, cool. Have a good one. Thank you.